Hey folks, and welcome back to Pattaya. Today, going for a ride on a brand new BMW. A buddy of mine here that I met, Michael, it's his bike, and he has foolishly agreed for me to take it for a ride. And he said, hey, make sure you ring it out. Isn't that right? And I've never really taken one of these other than in the parking lot of BMW. I believe I rode one years ago in the parking lot of BMW. So that's what it is. It's a C400X from BMW. Let's hit the road and see what she'll do.
Hey pretty baby, am I in your way? Cause you walked out so fast yesterday. No, I don't think you're here to stay. No, I don't think you're here to stay. So tell me what you want, tell me how you want it. Tell me all the reasons that you're running away. I don't think you're here to stay. No, I don't think you're here to stay. No, no, no.
So I made it down to Beach Road. Little drive through town first to kind of familiarize myself with the bike. We'll go out and get it up to speed later, but it was very easy to get used to. The seat was pretty comfortable. I thought there would be a little bit more leg room than there was, but it's sufficient. I just thought being in the extra large scooter class, I'd be legs stretched out, but not really the case. I have a pretty good bend in my legs sitting there. It may very well be the smoothest single cylinder machine I've ever ridden. It purrs like a sewing machine. You can barely hear it run. It's a very gentlemanly type ride, I guess maybe what you'd expect from BMW. But there are some things to know about. First, the price. What's something like this cost? Well, about 419,000 baht for a 400cc extra large scooter. Now, where does that stack up? Well, you can get a very nice, very capable touring bike for that, a plethora of models. How does it compare in its class? Well, maybe over double, say something comparable like a Forza 350. You might say, well, that's only a 350, this is a 400. In badge alone, the motor on this is 349 cc's, so I've been told. So technically, it's really more of a 350 than a 400. At the same time, something to realize about that, if you live in a country, the Philippines, for example, that has a cc limitation on highway use, well, even though the badge says 400, it's only 350. I'm not sure it would meet the criteria for that. So you might want to check. I don't know very much about those, but I know certain places have cc limits for highways. Thailand not being one of those. If it's two wheels, I don't care how many cc's, it's not going on the highway or motorway. But it's a surprisingly nice ride. The things that kind of plague all scooters in my mind are always the gearbox, or lack thereof, the suspension travel, and the extra weight. This is a heavy machine. I think it outweighs the Forza 350 by about 65 pounds. Comes in at about 214 kilos. Do the math on that yourself for pounds, but it's quite hefty. Compared to my 300, say, it's about 160 pounds heavier with about the same horsepower, 34 horsepower. Also in that large scooter class, you have to think the other ones that are maybe bigger than this, like the Yamaha 560 T-Max, which is even heavier, but does have more power, and is a lot more expensive even to this, over 100,000 baht more expensive. Or then there's the Honda 750 XADV, or is it ADVX? Maybe it's ADVX 750, one of those. That is a whole different beast alone, a lot more power, just a little bit more weight. It does not have the CVT transmission hanging off the side like the rest of the class does. It's a proper dual clutch DC gearbox. That's a whole different type thing. And here's the rub. It's the same price of this within, I think, 3,000–4,000 baht. So within $100 of this, you could get that 750 Honda, which would be probably my choice in the class. We talked a little bit about the price of this guy. Now, the way to buy this, I'm going to show you online. So 420,000 almost, just say rounded off new. But the way to buy these is on a demo basis. This one, I think only 1,000 kilometers. There's some similar for sale right now for like 260,000, something like that. I'll show you. So that's the way to buy one of these, not pay the full fare. It really takes the bite out of it, brings it more down to earth, more comparable with that 350 class cc scooter, something like the Forza. One of the other things, you might look at the storage. I'm going to show you the storage under the seat, and you might think, well, that's a good amount of storage. You can put a whole full face helmet in there. However, it's configured so that deep well is recessed, and you have to unrecess it or bring it back up before the bike will start. So if you're thinking, well, I'm going to put a 12-pack of beer in there, I don't need to store a helmet, you cannot load that thing up and then take off in the scooter. So it's a much more limited capacity when you're talking about your real world storage under the seat. There's also a nice strut that holds the seat up. Little things like that give you that BMW quality. The fit and finish on the paint's very good. Although some of the plastic parts, like the fender and maybe around the handlebars, don't look any different than something you might find on a Honda, for example. So one of the big benefits of this bike is the electronics. So you get the entire big, large screen with all the gizmos. It's almost got like the little BMW iDrive system. It's got the wheel, the little dial on the handlebars. You've got all the settings, all the different modes. You've got navigation. You have to have the BMW app on your phone, which I do not, so I can't show you some of this. That's the same system that you would get, say, on a 1 million baht GS 1250 right here on a little runaround scooter. But it keeps track of everything, your gas mileage. The gas mileage on this lifetime for it's only been 1,000 kilometers. And the gas mileage for its lifetime performance is 26.3, I believe, kilometers to the liter. So with the tank being just shy of 13 liters, it's going to give you about 275 kilometers per tank for a tank full. So that's not too bad, I guess. So we'll get out of town. We'll take it for a little ride. I've got 2 hours. I told the guy to meet him back in 2 hours. So we'll see how far we can go and what we can get done in 2 hours here. Go for a little ride, put it through its paces.
I'm gonna tell her I just bought this.
รถไม้
อ๋อ
ท่านชิว
อ๋อ
นี่ไงเห็นไหม
เขาจะมาอยู่
เยอะ
โอ้บิวตี้
อันนี้ Deutsche BMW
เยอะมาก
She has a German boyfriend. She's on the phone with him. I'm saying, I just bought this. It's from Germany. รถพวนฉันไม่ชิวไม่ชิวรถพวน
รถเพื่อน
I give you April Fool
โอเคยูบายไม่หนี
Bye, don't buy. I don't buy. Okay, so we came out to the dark side. It's the railroad road's a good road to get up to speed, but I tell you, it's a lot better mannered in the slow speeds than at the high speeds. It really soaked up the bumps remarkably well at the low speeds, but at high speeds, not so much. But it does get up the high speed quick. Even at 90, if you give it that throttle, there's plenty of power there, which is remarkable for a scooter of any type. Usually the farther you go up into the power band, it seems like the acceleration becomes slower. It's got a good punch even at 90. So I think you could cruise this bike. It redlines at about 9. I think at around 90, I'm about at half that, 45, 50% power. So I think it would cruise all day at 90, which is the speed limit here. And probably you can't go that most of the time anyway. So it's perfectly capable for going out on a trip, putting luggage on, packing your bags, going up to Chiang Mai, wherever you want to go. Overall, it was a fun ride. I thank Michael again for letting me abuse his scooter. It's only got 1,000 kilometers on it. But I'm going to have, since I was out here, I stopped by the Maestro Gelato to get a piece of apple pie. They had this apple cake instead. They're out of apple pie. So I got that in a coffee. I'm going to enjoy it, and then I'll take it back and give Michael the key, which is one of those keyless remotes, by the way. You just keep it in your pocket. Another kind of little cool thing with that upper end class of the scooter. Tonight, we're going to get a vitamin injection. And this has been going on here for a decade. There's a doctor, she's like a traveling doctor. She'll come to your home or business and she'll give you these injections. And she does it at my friend's bar for the ladies who work there, the customers, etc. Of which I'm one, a customer. So we're gonna go there and see what that's all about tonight and try one of those. So that was a lot of fun. Big thanks to Michael for letting me take that bike for a ride tonight down on Soy 13-1. My friend here at the So Nice bar told me months ago, there's a lady, she's like a nurse, she comes around, she's been doing this, she's known her for 20 years, she's been doing this at least for 10 years. She comes around and gives vitamin injections, sells vitamin injections for the girls working in the bars, customers too even. Now, we had something like this, I don't know, about 2 months ago, I believe. But it was at a clinic on Beach Road. It was like a doctor's office type thing. It was an IV injection. This is supposed to be something different. Maybe something a little bit more old school. Maybe something that the other one was derived from. I don't know. We're going to find out. She's going to do the staff here and maybe some customers, and I think I'll get one as well. So we'll see what this is all about. But my friend here swears by and says she's been getting them about 3 times a year for the last 10 years. So this is nothing new here. It just depends on the venue, I guess. Some venues in town, like the one we showed, are practically brand new. Others, not so much. This has been going on for a decade, if not more. But while we're here waiting for the nurse or whatever she is to give the vitamin shot, right next door, almost right next door to my friend's bar, is what's now called the Jungle. But if you remember, if you're fans of the show, you might remember I had my birthday party here last August. That time it was called the Rabbit Hole. He had a Jungle next door. He's kind of consolidated it all into one bar. But here's the deal. Now he's selling it. So if anybody wants a turnkey ready bar, that's your guy. Go see him. Come down to Soy 13-1 and see Eric. He's going back to Canada for a while. But the place is, he's got a band every night. Everything stays. He's selling the whole company. And the place is turnkey ready. So if you're looking for some kind of venture like that, come on down and discuss details with him. But I like the bar. It's very nice. And the band is very good. Still the same Filipino band.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's got the incredible Hawk outside. Oh, he's spent a lot of money here. The TV sets, all the remodeling, everything in here. So it's kind of a shame to see you go.
Yeah.
But it is a nice place, and the Soy's just starting to come back. There's more here open now than there has been for going on 3 years, and I'd like to see somebody take it over and pick up the ball and run with it. Basically, is what he's looking for. So anyway, if somebody's interested, they'll come by and see. You're here. He's here every night. He's here every night.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time. Daytimes too. I ride by through here in the day. He's here. All right, let's go back and see if this nurse is ready for the injection jet. The doctor has arrived. There's a whole crowd of people that came just for this. They'd known she was coming. And I've got the lovely May with me here. She's going to have a vitamin injection. I just had one. I'll show you. But this is different. It's like 3 vials, 3 different vials of different vitamins. And it's injected very, very slowly. It's not an IV. It's like a big injection. I'll show you. But they inject it very, very slowly. So it took maybe, I don't know, less than 10 minutes. And I'm already done mine. So I don't know. We'll see what it is. I do feel a little bit more alert. I don't know. Last time I had one of these, if you remember, I was in a clinic down on Beach Road about, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago. That was like a doctor's office, and I had a drip. This is a different procedure. It's a little less formal, I guess you would say. I'm kind of in the storeroom here on Soy 13-1. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure it's almost the same thing. In other words, but I just think that's a newer version of something that already existed here that's been going on for years. So, pretty interesting. We'll see how May does. She's afraid of the needle.
All right, 1,000 baht for that. Now, I think the drip that I had at the clinic was a little bit more efficacious. This one, I felt a little bit different, a little bit more pep in my step, but maybe not quite as much as the one at the clinic. So, it did not hurt, though. Very, very minor, very unevasive, although by the facial expression there, you wouldn't know. Anyway, something else next time, but for this one, gotta leave it off right here.
And as usual, I'll thank you for watching. And until next time, bye for now.